Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to go over the three-man weave drill. This is a transition offensive drill done in lower school, middle school, high school, and I'm assuming also some colleges probably work on this as a warm-up. It's a good drill to teach younger kids and a reminder to older kids of how to run the lanes on offense when you're going on a break, especially with three people. Basically remind them not to cut in front of people whenever they have the ball. Keep it tight. Don't run too wide. Transition, make your way to the middle. You want to have the ball pushed to the middle of the floor on a fast break. That way, it kind of opens everything up on the court. So I'm going to show you how to do the basics of the drill, show you some attention to detail, things that you need to tell your team in order for it to be run effective. Okay, so it starts off, you got a guy in the middle with the ball. So the two outside lanes want to make their way up and in. Okay, what I tell my guys, that's the teaching cues, is go up and in, and that way whenever they catch the ball, the middle guy who should be transitioning behind can make a straight line to the outside lane and not have to worry about going around or looping around anybody, and they can get to that outside lane for their next step in the drill. So I'll show you what I'm talking about there. All right, so I kind of played in slow motion just to kind of show you. So both of them going up and then in, and then you see they lead them to the middle. That way it's a straight, easy transition to go around them. So it leads them to the middle, and they can basically run at their backside. And as they run at their backside, they're running, basically the player's kind of making forward progress to the rim or towards the center, and you're running at that person, and by the time you get there, they're out the way and you're going behind them. Let me show you what might happen if you go too wide and you don't go in, you just go up instead of up and in, kind of how it throws off the drill. All right guys, so coming back on this one here, typically just to kind of let you know what we do is we have a three-man weave. We get to the end, someone makes the shot, and then we get a rebound and we push it back the other way. Unless we have a lot of kids, then basically we'll have two lines on each side of the court. One group goes, the next group gets the rebound and goes. They only go one time, but typically if we have anywhere from 10 to 12 kids, we'll basically make them go 2 rounds, and then the next group will go 2 rounds, and they're focused on doing it correctly and making 2. So here's what we're looking at here. If you don't run the lanes correctly, if you just go up and not up and in, as you can kind of see, it starts going, they go up here, and then you throw the ball really wide, which makes it hard for that person to get around. Okay, and then they might survive a couple lines, a couple rounds where they're going around, and eventually it slows it down, and it takes forever for them to get where they need to be, and then eventually you kind of just get crossed up. So while this is just a simulation, this is real life also, because if they run it this way as opposed to going up and in, this happens, more often than not. They're going to get crossed up either here at half court or here on the three-point line, to where somebody's going to go in front instead of behind, and they're just going to stop and be like, wait a minute, what's going on? So make sure you teach them up, in. That way it keeps it tight and people can run their lanes effectively. All right guys, this is typically how the drill is run when we have 2 reps, so like they're going there and back. So just kind of show you that. So they'll take all up and in, up and in, so we hit the ball in the middle. Animation is not perfect, but hopefully you kind of get the idea. And then up and in, and then on the way back. Again, this animation is not perfect, but hopefully you kind of get the idea of how the drill is supposed to be here. And then once these guys are done, 5 would step in and get the rebound, 4, and then this outside guy would come in. They would be starting here, and these guys would just rotate in line of and we make sure that they tell them to switch lines. We don't want to make them go to the same line. We want to, if this guy was the middle guy starting off, maybe we make them rotate to the left or something, to where they're all getting different reps. And then once everybody gets a rep from each line, starting off in each line, 1, 2, 3, then as long as we did it correctly and did a good job, then we'll stop the drill there, and that'll be that.